If you have a daily coffee habit, here's something to drink to. A new study finds those cups of joe, or joy, as we call it here in the newsroom, might actually help you live longer. Yay!
Really? Something good?
Yes. This time, doctors are not looking for, it's going to kill you.
All right. Joining us on the Kogo News Live line this morning, Dr. Russell Skinner. And doctor, for once, a thing we love isn't going to kill us. That deserves a thank you. What's this study about?
This study was looking at overall decrease in mortality or death, premature death from any cause, and it was shown to be decreased by 15% for those who drank coffee.
Now, it apparently cuts your risk of diabetes. What part of the coffee actually does that? What's the active ingredient, as it were?
That's the part that we don't know yet. The study looked at coffee and did compare caffeinated versus decaf, and the results were the same. So we know it's not a caffeine factor, but what phytonutrient or what actual chemical compound that's in coffee, that is still the part that needs to be answered.
Any idea, aside from the diabetes, any idea how it works to lengthen your life?
Well, it decreases all risk of cardiovascular death. So that's hypertension, stroke, heart attack. Those are all shown to be decreased. Decrease the risk of death from Parkinson's disease, and it actually decreases incidence of diabetes in this study. And it's not the first study that showed some of that. I mean, this is the most recent, but there's been several studies that show those same decreased risk factors for developing those diseases, decreased death from those diseases. The part that sometimes is confusing for people is they'll say, well, I read a study that showed an increased risk for those. And those studies tend to be, they follow people from a much earlier point in time. So a lot of those studies go back and look at patients back even in 40, 50 years ago. So back into the 60s, 70s, 80s, where smoking was much more prevalent. And it did not account for smoking, or in other words, the people that smoked were not taken out of the study. And so obviously if you compare benefits of coffee drinking and the risk of cigarette smoking is going to win every time. So if somebody says, well, I smoke and drink coffee, you're still going to be on the losing end of that, because smoking, the risk of disease from smoking is so much higher. So this study, most recent, was really looking at non-smokers and how did they do with coffee.
Dr. Russell Skinner with us here on the Kogo News Live line. And again, you can't help but go back to the fact that doctors have actually found something that isn't going to kill you that you love to do. So that's pretty exciting for all of us. What other foods have come up as having that kind of a benefit? Because that seems like a pretty significant amount of evidence and a pretty significant amount of benefit. 15% lower risk of premature mortality?
Yeah, that's actually that's a significant number. 15% decrease in risk. I would love to see something that comes out that shows a 15% decrease in risk. And there are more and more studies that are looking at particular foods that can be followed over time and health benefits of those. So many of these, particularly whether it's food or coffee and so forth, there's so many different compounds, nutrients, phytochemicals, and so forth that are in anything that we consume organic, and trying to determine which of those particular compounds is providing the benefit, or is it the whole food? Obviously, there's a lot of stuff in the news about antioxidants and benefit of that as we age, the oxidative effect on tissues, compounds as we get older, and so anything we can use to help fight that oxidative stress is important. We get oxidative stress in the environment, and so any of those antioxidants that we use, and those can be vitamins, or the vitamin E, for instance, it's a good antioxidant, or if it's antioxidant foods. They talk about red wine has a strong antioxidant effect. Beets are strong in antioxidants, and so forth. All of those foods do provide benefit, and it's a much more difficult proposition to set up a study that'll look at people who eat beets versus those who don't.
Right.
Is it specifically the beet? Is it because they tend to have a healthier lifestyle overall? If they're that food and health conscious, that can become very difficult to determine. Is there a particular thing that's providing the benefit?
All right, doctor, thank you very much. That's Dr. Russell Skinner joining us on the Kogo News Live line.